Hey, Daryl at darylballard.com, and in this video we are going to be talking about how to convert leads into sales effortlessly. Would it help your business if you could develop a machine that could do most of the selling for you, really make it almost effortless, and this could happen even while you're asleep or on vacation? Well, you can, and in this video I'm going to tell you the two components you need to develop your own selling machine. A few videos back, I talked about the conversion elements necessary to turn your leads into sales, the visible and the invisible elements. These concepts are important to understand to make your selling machine work. If you want to see that discussion, I will link the video in the description. But today, I wanted to talk about actually building that sales machine that makes selling effortless. I like to call it, a really creative title coming here, an effortless selling machine. And what is that? Well, it's made up of two components. The first is an automated email sequence that gets your leads on the path to knowing, liking, and trusting you. How is this different from the typical sales funnel email sequence? Well, I wish it wasn't different at all. I think every sales funnel should be built this way. But most online marketers are taught to hammer their leads with the same offer in each email over and over, and their leads very rapidly quit opening the emails. It looks like you are all about the money this way, and people don't trust you then. In this sequence, I'm suggesting that you, of course, deliver your lead magnet that you promised your leads that got you their email address in the first place. And you can show them a low-ticket offer right then if you want, whether it's your product or an affiliate product. This might be a smaller product that introduces them to your flagship product for better conversions later in your funnel. But then you should have a few emails that are just great value to your leads. You should give them a bite or two of very helpful information in your niche, information that they are likely looking for. And you should do this in each email for the next 3 or 4. And how do you do this? Well, they should be pointed to a video, a blog article, or a podcast that you did telling them about this information. Actually, a combination on this is good too. Everyone learns in different ways, so a multimedia approach definitely helps. So you should be giving them a couple of great points in this video, article, or podcast episode or segment that helps them get to where they want to go. And no pitch for a paid product. You're just there to help them out. So what are you trying to accomplish with this? You're trying to bring them into your community, to let them get to know you and begin to trust you. After you have given them a few emails with some value, you can make an offer again. Then start the process all over again with several value pieces before another offer. At any point, if they accept an offer, they would then move into the next step of the funnel, which would be the same kind of sequence, but a higher value offer, depending on how many levels you have. Those different levels would be a discussion for another video, but you get the idea. And I said you were trying to move them into your community. So what does that mean? Well, that is component number 2 of your sales machine, and I think the best way to have a community is to have a website that is your home on the internet. In fact, I don't really call it a website, but a hub. This would be where your offers are. This would be where you host your products if you have a course or a membership site. This would be where your blog and or your podcast would be. And that is just a few examples. You could have much more on your hub. Now, you might use some other platforms to help with this as well, like Facebook groups or Google Documents, etc. But the more you can host of this yourself on your own site, the better. And this is for 2 reasons. Depending on other platforms can be dangerous as platforms change and even go out of business sometimes. The second reason is a little more involved. There are a lot of people out there who think they can have their business entirely on Facebook or YouTube, or do their business all with funnels on ClickFunnels or lead pages. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with using those products. They're great. But if you try to have your business entirely on those platforms, it is very difficult to establish your brand. It makes it much harder to stand out from the crowd. And what do you need to do to be successful in a crowded niche? You need to be a little different. You need to stand out. And on Facebook, YouTube, and the other social media platforms, those followers of yours are not really yours. They belong to Facebook or YouTube, etc. If you use other platforms than your own hub to do most of your business, you are really duct taping everything together and you are essentially homeless. Use those platforms to your advantage while you can, but definitely don't depend on them. The great news is that developing a website with WordPress these days can be very affordable, in fact, almost free, and does not require much of any coding experience to put it together. I don't want to say it's easy and that you can do it in 10 minutes, but it is doable. I know, I've done it, and I have no significant coding experience. I learned a little HTML in the early 2000s trying to do a website for my kids' school. But this was very basic, and little of what I learned is used much anymore. There are great tools out there, most of which are free, and you just drag and drop or choose parameters from a drop-down menu just like you do in ClickFunnels or Lead Pages. And yes, you can even make your own landing pages there. I've done that too. Now, the step-by-step on how to do this is beyond the scope of this video, but I will be talking more about this soon. Stay tuned. So that's really the two components of an effortless sales machine. Build that email sequence for your funnels with lots of free value. Focus on the customer, not on making money. The money will come. And bring your leads into your community where they can get to know, like, and trust you. It's much easier to sell to them right off and in the future when you have new products to sell. After all, if you have people who know, like, and trust you that you have always delivered great products to, why wouldn't they buy another great product from you? This works if you have your own products, for affiliate products, and it even smooths the process out if you are bringing in clients for higher ticket items. For those, you probably have to eventually meet with them or talk on the phone, but you can do a lot of the sorting this way. I hope this has been helpful for you. I'm Daryl Ballard at darylballard.com. If you have enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up here in YouTube. It helps me get the word out on these videos. And leave me a comment. If you have a question, I would be happy to answer your questions in the comments below. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe so you can get the next videos as they are released. Bye for now, and we will see you next time.